Yo, Z-Man in the garden again. Come on, y'all need to buy some kale. That's great for all kinds of stuff. Smoothies, soups, salads, even sauteed with meats, chickens, beefs. I got my bell peppers looking good. There's a few getting close to harvest. Not many. I've only found one red tomato so far, but I'm sure once those pop, it'll be a non-stop tomato fest. I got romaine heads. I got some good romaine heads here. Let's see, some dense romaine heads. Onions aren't quite ready yet. Potatoes, tomatoes, lots of tomatoes. These are all the poblanos and the garden salsas and the jalapenos, chilies. Heads are almost, they're making them. They're making heads on the cabbage. Wildflowers, lots of sunflower coming up. These two were cropped out, so I'm not sure what I'm going to put there. We got our kohlrabi. Nothing yet, but it's starting to form. We got pickles. Everything's growing up the trellises. Look at that. Nice. Just a couple of days. That's all it takes. They're pulling themselves up. All the sugar snaps, they're climbing. Lettuce, that's ready for a cut. Swiss chard, those aren't ready yet, but when it is, I'm going to have a bunch. More 3 rows of potatoes with such pretty flowers. Look at that. Potato flowers are so pretty. That purpley pink and yellow. We got cucumbers and squash, zucchini. These are all my cherry tomatoes and beefsteak, I want to say. And I want to say there was a few Roma tomatoes. This is the interplanting here and here. These are interplanted with turnips. Let's see how these guys are doing here. I've never grown turnips, so I'm not sure. Well, I know they get bigger than that, so these are nowhere near yet. Okay. More turnips, lettuce. This is a miscellaneous greens mix. All the pumpkins are looking good. And what's cool is I've noticed that they've kind of started growing naturally in this direction, which is what I want. That's why this is all grassy there, so that these pumpkins and watermelons can grow here and not be sunk in the mud. So I think in the fall what I'll do is I will probably either tarp this or I will cover it with alfalfa. And then next spring, I will cover my rows with a couple inches of compost. And I think I'm going to plant my either my corn here or my tomatoes here. See, my corn's over here, and I really want to not grow that in the same place. So I was thinking of either putting my tomatoes over there or pumpkins. But pumpkins, I think next year, I'm going to try on that side of the garden, like in the first 60 feet of it. Because that place, that side stays stays wetter a little bit longer, okay? And I think the pumpkins and the watermelons will do better there. But all in time. See, next year, every one of these rows are going to have a number. And then there's going to be X amount of rows in a block, okay? So, for example, like my potatoes are set up. I got 3 rows right next to each other up here. Okay, so next year I'll have 4 or 5, and it will be the potato block. Okay, so it'd be like rows 8, 9, 10, 11. They're all part of the potato block. All right, and that's how I think I need to organize this, because seeds were put in late, so it's kind of tomatoes here, onion here, you know, just kind of piecing it in as I go, as I got the seeds. So next year, now I see how this is kind of going to work. So next year I need to break it down and have strict sections that will help organize and keep everything cleaner, okay? But I think that's how it's got to get done. Everyone that I see that's doing market farming, they have it broken off into blocks. So next year will improve. I am widening my beds a little bit next year by about 6 inches. Right now my tiller's 24 inches, and I think a 30-inch bed is ideal. So we're gonna go ahead and expand every one of these beds to 30 inches. Okay, I think that'll be ideal for my tomatoes too, because they're overgrowing into the rows a little bit, but not a whole lot. So I'm hoping that allowing a little bit more room for them will help out. But it's looking pretty good. Like for my first production market garden, it's not too bad. It's just the first season. So now as we go through, we'll be able to prevent a lot of the weeds, because I'm not going to be turning over that soil and exposing all those new seeds and everything. But yeah, it's starting to look like something. And then either this fall or spring, we're expanding past that trailer, okay, and to the left. So we're planting fruit trees and blueberries, raspberries, mulberries, apples, pears, peaches is what I'm planning on next year, all back here. But yes, we are expanding. This is great. Now I know in the condition that my back is in, all of this stuff has been somewhat tolerable. The hardest thing I have here is pulling weeds. That kills my back, and turning the compost pile. Those are two tasks that are very difficult for me to do here, and I'm keeping up with it for the most part. You know, it's not horrible with the weeds, but yeah, we're moving along here. Farmer Z, that's me, the one and only. So that's today's update. Ooh wee. And this cauliflower tastes so good too. Ooh, it's so good. Had some last night with some ranch dressing. Oh yeah. So that's the updates. Want to see the guard dogs? Let's see the guard dogs real quick. This is Sammy and Jasmine. I got them tied up out here while I do my walkthrough. Come here, girls. What did you do? What is this? You guys done wrapped up a steak? All right, well, I'm going to untangle these. Oh, look at that. It's a fetching stick for her. Anyways, I'm going to untangle them, and we're going to get farming here. Till the next episode. Later, y'all.